Welcome to episode 187 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton. Today, I'm joined by the one and only Matt Bowden.
Thanks for having me. I want applause every time you introduce me.
You want like a golf clap? Or a full-on
I don't know,
rager?
Just applause, like of any kind. It could just randomized applause.
I'm not going to give them to you, though.
Just one guy at the back of the bar, and then the next week it could be golf, and then the next week it could be like snaps at a jazz club.
I like snaps. It's underused.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it should be a special occasion every time. Like it should be something that people care about.
You want people to celebrate?
Maybe. I want people who recorded their claps and didn't know what they were used for to be celebrating.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
You want a laugh track of clapping.
Yeah, but a clap track.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
The less talked about clap track.
Yeah. I want like a little pad of buttons over here that I can push, and they say funny radio things.
Right.
You know, they make like laser sounds
for your phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Get one that's got the
That thing
got that on there.
That thing is very used at this point.
Yeah, well, I want one.
People like it.
I want one.
Get you one.
Trying to get us on board with everybody else, for God's sake. I can't do it now.
This flag you love, still red, white, and blue. Get one.
Yeah. Well, it ain't happening on episode 187. That's for damn sure.
Ride or die.
Fat burger.
Okay.
That's the part I remember most about that movie is Watch Your Back, which is probably the jam of the 2000s. And what's her name? Michelle Rodriguez with those like super tall like clopper boots that have flames on them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the old coyote comes in and he drops a hard F on Paul Walker and tells him to go to Fatburger. Yeah. You remember the scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He was in my face. Yeah. I'm in your face.
Yeah.
That part right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
We got a 187 in Glendale. That's what he says when they're about to street race. I think. There's a murder in Glendale.
Who knows? That street in that scene is the same one that Paul Walker died on.
Do you think he knew?
No, nobody knows. It just happened to have been one of those things that, like, Santa Monica, Venice Beach area, you know, pretty popular place to drive.
I mean, people go there.
People have been there. People are probably there now.
I can't confirm. I'm not there. What happened? Did you fall asleep?
A moment of silence, dude. Come on. Get the fuck out.
You can't just do one. You have to announce that you're doing one and then do one.
You don't. That's.
I don't think you understand how moments of silence work. You can't just be quiet and then be pissed that no one else was when they didn't know.
I think they're more meaningful if you just do them. If you just have a moment.
You want them to be just organic. Just pop up. Pop up.
Yeah.
You do pop-up moment of silences.
I'm taking a moment of silence. I don't care if you are. I'm taking a moment of silence.
I do flash mob moment of silences. I just get a big group of people together. We go somewhere and we be quiet as fuck.
I have a mouthful of coffee, so I couldn't laugh.
Yeah, you can.
I can ruin this microphone, too.
Spray it out.
All right. Jesus.
Say it, don't spray it. Or spray it, don't say it.
I don't know what either of those mean.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from either.
So it means when you talk, don't spit on people.
Yeah, but I like to spit on people.
That's gross, dude. That's gross.
Recreationally, not when I'm talking.
Right. You should fix that. Speaking of recreation, I've accidentally been sucked into Metal Gear
Was it really an accident, though?
Yeah, man. All right, listen.
Or were you tempting fate?
Listen, we're a year into this game. This game came out September 2015. It's August 2016. So like we're coming up on a year, creeping up on a year on this rascal. And there's probably 4 months where I didn't touch it because I decided that I hated it.
You talk mad shit about it.
Yeah, dude. It's still not the greatest game, but somehow the gameplay loop has got its hooks in me. And it seems to be what I turn on every time I sit down. I think it's because wrestling has wore thin. I had to take a break from that, and Metal Gear's the only other thing that I really cared to finish. So I finished this story all the way through, and now I'm going to work on that Plat.
That's a tall order.
It is. It scares me to death, but I have the platinum on all the other Metal Gear games.
Be a shame not to have this one.
It would be a shame not to have this one. Now, here's the real shame, is that my platinum for Peace Walker is on PSP. It's tied to my other PSN account, the same way that my original Batman Arkham Asylum platinum was, and I had to re-platinum that game.
But you know you got it.
I know I got it. I think Metal Gear Solid 2 is also on there, so I'm going to have to bust out the HD collection and re-platinum those games. And Metal Gear Solid 2 has the most tedious platinum ever. Peace Walker has online trophies, so I don't even know if I can re-platinum that game.
Probably not. I could boost it with you, though, if it's still out.
Yeah, but I'm going to do it on PS3, so I'm going to need that HD collection boost.
If you buy me one.
We could do it on the Vita. They didn't do Peace Walker on the Vita, though. They just did 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's correct. And you don't have one.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
Yeah. Now,
I could go get one.
So, similar to you, I was the same way with Little Big Planets. I platinum all of them.
Right.
I don't care what they are. I'm platinum. Then 3 came out, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this.
Because it's garbage.
So I think it's okay if you don't get it, but if you want it, you should totally make it happen.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, now that I finished the game, now that I comprehend the entire story, and I don't think that it feels like a Metal Gear game, but I think that it feels it's in the universe, and I understand how it's in the universe. So now that I feel like I've got the whole story, that the game is still a good enough game that it's worth platinuming now. You know what I mean? Like, what was hard was chomping through it to get the Metal Gear part. The game has always been fun, but now that I have all of the Metal Gear information, now I can just play it for the platinum.
See, I'm surprised that you think the game itself is fun with it being as open as it is.
I don't like the open world stuff, but what this game does do that I think works in Metal Gear is it gives you the opportunity to have a different experience in the same location over and over and over again. I don't think it lasts forever. I don't think it's got a lot of staying power, and I think a story, like a linear Metal Gear game, works better. But for the way that this game is structured for replay value, and that's really what this game is about. This game is about how can we get the most replays out of the same 51 missions and the same 300 side ops, and still have players be able to abandon the missions and go play and enjoy themselves. You have to do it this way. It's not fully open world, but it's open. It is at the same time. So
I would say it is.
It works. Yeah, it works. I don't enjoy the open world part of it. I just use the cardboard box to go where I want to, or I'll line up a couple of side missions and kind of take the horse from one to the other and run it like one big long mission. I don't stay out for very long. The real part about this game that I don't like is every time you finish a mission, you go back to the base.
Right.
That's the part that I don't. That's the actual part of the game that I dislike. Is that there's no also that you can't go out with no weapons. I don't like that either.
It's never occurred to me to try.
Right, but one of the things. So every other Metal Gear game, it's procure on site. Right, you land with no weapons, and you have to find weapons when you're there. Like that's part of it. So the fact that you can't choose to go in weaponless pisses me off. But otherwise, that's really what bothers me. The open world works for me in a way that I didn't think it would.
It was a fun game. I'm glad I spent time with it. Sometimes I think
I'm surprised you did, man.
Sometimes I think about going back to it, but then I look at my backlog.
I'm very surprised that you not only bought this game but enjoyed it.
Yeah, I probably played it for like 20 hours, 15 hours.
Yeah.
But I didn't do anything most of the time. Like, I played it a little bit like Grand Theft Auto, where I just ran around.
Yeah.
I enjoy putting bros to sleep, picking them up and carrying them around.
Hitting the snooze button.
Yeah.
That's what I like to call it.
I enjoy that. It's The game is much easier if you're stealthy. I'm not, so there was that. But
and I wouldn't call the game easy if you're stealthy.
Easier.
Yeah.
A lot easier than if you're not. If you just walk in with your middle finger up in the air, the way that I do, it's tough sometimes.
Right. You ever take him in there as Naked Snake? You put the whatever uniform you like. If you push to the left on the D-pad, he takes his shirt off and goes in.
No, but if I played now, I would.
So all of your uniforms, you have the scarf version, right? You have the regular version, which is like a shirt and pants, and then you have the naked version, which is pants and boots and nothing else, right? Pants and boots and guns, just shirtless.
That's more realistic to how I do it in real life.
Right. So I've got the pink. I've got they call it rose. I've got the rose-colored armor, which is pink. I just send him in there with pink pants and no shirt. Or I've got they came out with swimsuits at some point, and so I've got an olive drab banana hammock that I like to send him in. No boots, no gloves, no nothing. Just no protection from anything except for right on the scrot. Just run him through the desert.
Now, what message do you think that's sending?
Like if
you like to have fun, but you're still serious too.
Yeah, that you can still get your ass whooped by a dude in a banana hammock.
Yeah. Well, I've always known that. You learn that really young in life.
Right. Don't think you're too much of a badass and not take an ass whooping.
Right. I played something really similar to Metal Gear this week.
Tell me about it.
Tricky Towers.
It's exactly the same because I played it too, so I know what you're talking about.
So Tricky Towers is one of the free PS Plus games for whatever month this is. August.
You remember whenever I said that these free games suck dicks?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm taking it back.
So we downloaded Tricky Towers. We jumped in last night. Now I like the way that we played this because no one practiced. I despise when one guy's like, "Well, I'm just going to try it out," and he plays it for 6 hours and then demolishes a few people for a little while.
Yeah,
till we get caught up. I don't like when people do that. Everybody went into this cold, which I liked.
Cold Turk.
It was you. It was me. A friend of ours, Howard. We jump in, sight unseen, and we play Tricky Tower. No idea what we're doing. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's like reverse Tetris.
It's like Tetris
that doesn't go away.
Yeah,
if you couldn't make lines.
Like when you leave a space, like it affects you. Like they start falling right there. It leaves a weak point.
And it's like Tetris. It's not like Tetris though, in that you can put stuff anywhere.
Right.
Like it doesn't actually have to. It's not like a snap grid that you're moving on.
Well, it is, but you also have to remember that like physics affects the piece. So if something's top heavy, when you put it down, it's going to move.
But it's like you do half moves too, though.
Yeah, it does have those weird like.
So you can leave like a little baby gap.
Yeah, which I don't understand why you don't.
Not the store to get trendy clothes for your child.
There's no advantage to filling it up square, but that seems to be the only way that I like to play it.
And I think that's the Tetris that's just ingrained in everyone.
Yeah,
like. In your mind, it is like, make this as tight and as neat as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the best way to play the game or not.
I don't think it is anymore. I think leaving some spaces and then bridging the spaces with some larger pieces is probably the better way to do it because you end up with a wider base.
So that's the key of this game, is to not let your base get narrow.
Right. Because
what happens is your ability to keep it straight, flush, and level starts to go away as time goes on, and then you make a mistake, and when you do, your platform gets smaller and smaller and smaller until you've got a small fucking prick that you're trying to bounce everything on to get to the finish line.
Yeah.
Or, it just tumbles, like in my case, all the time.
Right, constantly.
But I think the game is fun with friends. I don't think it has much staying power.
Yeah, it feels done already because there's only... To me, like it was good for that one night of fun because there's no unlockables, there's no real hook other than the competition, and there's only 3 game modes.
I'd like to get in there with 4 people. I also like the idea of it being another game to throw in the rotation of things we can play together.
Yeah, if everybody's tired of tabletop one night, we can hop in there.
Like I like being able to play Rocket League and tabletop and Uncharted and
You know what's nice is we're finally getting to a point where there is a rotation of games,
right?
Which took way too fucking long.
Well,
but
I think
part of it's our fault. Let's be clear.
I don't know. I mean,
how many times have we played Metal Gear Online together? Right, there's a full multiplayer game that we never touch. How many times have we played Drive Club since we decided to buy that? We never play Project Cars. Honestly, some of the games that we don't have in rotation, like we have clear multiplayer games like The Last of Us, but it's very clearly very clearly our fault that we're not taking advantage of them. So I think waiting for part of our complaint that we didn't have games to play. I don't know what the point I'm trying to make. Part of it's our fault. Part of that's is on us.
Yeah, but some of those games I just don't know that they would be as fun. Like, I think there are games coming out right now that really make a lot of sense to play together.
Yeah, I get that. I think that, okay, so Uncharted 4 came out, and we played that pretty aggressively for a couple of weeks, but that was... So the games that we played the shit out of multiplayer-wise on PS3, it doesn't seem like those are the games that we want to play on multiplayer anymore, you know? Like,
I'm starting to think that I enjoy games that we can play, like, together against each other, where we don't have to have others involved.
Right.
It's the strange of the world that throws me off sometimes, with the exception of Rocket League. But even then, like, we're playing together. It doesn't have to necessarily be co-op, but like with Tricky Towers, it was just, you know, us three, or same thing with when we're playing tabletop. We're not racing against other people. It's just us. Like, I think that's where I have the most fun.
Well, you know what it is? It's that none of us are any good. We're not good enough to go out and play against the world anymore. So on Uncharted 3, where we were ass kickers united like constantly, we jumped into Uncharted 4, and the world like got real fucking good.
They caught up
while we were gone, yeah. And like The Last of Us, we're not good at that anymore like we used to be.
I used to chop wood on that game though.
Yeah, dude. Ooh, I used to love heating up some dude's ears.
I'm not against heating up ears again.
But now I'm all for it, but I think what we found is that like our little 4 and 5 man teams aren't as good as they used to be. I think some of us have fallen off the gaming wagon, and I'm throwing a flag up on my side for sure. Like, I don't play as consistently anymore to be as good anymore. I think, I mean, you've got the house and stuff. I think life has happened. We hit 30. I
mean, I think what makes it so hard is like no one enjoys jumping in and getting their ass whooped for the whole time.
That's true.
That's true. And when we're playing against each other, you're
easier
bound
to take an ass whooping.
Well, you know that, and you're bound to win at some point. Like, you're bound to get yours.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't have as hard of a time taking ass whooping from you guys. You know what I mean? Because it's funny. Like, it's always funny. There's never a time where I'm not having fun because somebody's always getting called something hateful.
Right. But I don't enjoy
somebody's mother is a lady of the night. You know,
like, I get tired of constantly getting like killed and feeling like we're not playing as a team, and like that's the where I start to go bad on stuff like Last of Us and Uncharted, where I'm like,
the blame game.
Yeah, like what the fuck is everybody else doing? And then people are like, oh great, you were the last death, and they're like, well, I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Well, you know what happens, dude, is it puts our friendship like it starts to take the cracks and like tear it apart.
It tears us apart.
Yeah, because we won't talk to each other for a couple of days after that.
This is a PSA about multiplayer.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I think there's room for that, but I think we got to be selective about who we do that with. I know two of us get very angry when we start to lose, and we can point a finger at either ourselves or somebody else in the group. And I'm very quick to be like, "Hey, I'm not having fun. I'm just gonna leave. Like I'm just gonna leave right now." Before I kill my dog.
Now, I'm mentally point fingers, but I don't say anything.
Right.
Like, in my mind, I'm like, if that person would quit being themselves, we would win.
Right.
If you could just play better. Sometimes that's the comment that I want to say sometimes. I want to be like, hey, beep. That's where the name was.
Stop dying, bro.
I want to say, hey, beep, if you could just play better.
Yeah.
We wouldn't lose as much. But there are times where I want to say that to everyone, though. It's not exclusive to one person. Like, there are times where everyone I play with, I want to be like, hey, if you could just do a little better, we as a group would be better off.
Yeah, well, there are some people that we play with that I don't point a finger at as much, but I typically will, like, dude, I'll focus in on you pretty hard.
I feel like everybody focuses in on me pretty hard.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not okay for me not to be. I don't have to be good, but it's not okay for me to be bad.
Right.
And now, I think that's unfair.
And we've got other people in the group that it's everybody. Like, they hate the other team. They hate us. They hate everybody. They hate their fucking controller. It doesn't matter who it is.
It's not specific. But see, I hate the fact that... So I play Rocket League a lot with several different people. I feel like I'm singled out when I'm not having a stellar night. Even though I may just be playing at a normal level that they're playing at.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is unfair.
So here's what I'm excited about, though. We've got Gran Turismo coming out. And as much as I'm like 60-40 leaning towards GT Sport at this point, but we always have fun. And it's like, even when there's competition, like, I don't feel like that's a game that we take too seriously. So even though it's just going to be me and you and probably Howard that get it, I can't wait to get Gran Turismo. But more on that, like, more obtuse multiplayer idea of kind of how playing the 4 or 5 of us against each other. I'm kind of excited about No Man's Sky at this point, because I think the idea of being in the same universe and having quote-unquote multiplayer, but being able to, like, knowing that you're out in the universe
somewhere,
but having a different experience than I am.
Right.
I'm gonna sneeze real fast. Makes that game appealing. Gross. Makes that game appealing to me. And it's taken me a long time to get there, but I think I'm gonna pop on that game.
I mean, so No Man's Sky. It's a game I've been excited about for a long time, but see, I'm not excited for that multiplayer component. Like, I expect to... And see, so I thought about this. This seems like the kind of game that'll be great for several of us to be playing while we're in chat together.
Right.
Because you're going to see things that are similar but different.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes I'm trying to play... So, I played Abzu this week. Mm-hmm. I played and finished Abzu. It's like an underwater journey type narrative, visually relaxing type game that you play. It's telling a story without telling a story. But that's the kind of game that I did not want to be in chat when I played. There's no talking. There's nothing to miss. I just didn't want to be in chat. So with a game like that, it kind of ruins the experience by having to jump into chat. I don't like the way that feels. Whereas a game like No Man's Sky, I think is fucking built to be in chat, to say, look what I see over there, look what you see over here. This just happened. Have you seen anything like this? Guess what I just saw? Like, that water cooler talk is perfect for, like, in the moment playing, I think.
Yeah, and I guess so that's a kind of multiplayer that you don't think about, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And so I'm hoping that it feels like multiplayer.
I see. That's where I think that it won't, though. I don't think it'll feel like multiplayer. I mean, I don't know. I see what you're saying by communicating and knowing you are in the same universe.
Yeah, just being in the same universe and being in chat together. Like, I hope what happens is that we don't all sit there silent, like staring at our screens, and you can hear each other clicking the triggers. I hope that we're talking about, like, what we're seeing.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want there to be, there's a blue fish with dicks growing out of his head, and you'd be like,
right,
that's crazy. I got a red giraffe.
Let me see.
Right, yeah.
Right, and then you're like, okay, pop a screeny over here. Let me see what you're looking at, and I'll send you what I'm looking at. Like, it's a different kind of multiplayer. It's a non-competitive multiplayer, but it's a shared experience in a different way. Like, I really hope that it's able to do that, and
yeah.
So to me, that's the idea that I find interesting. Where I wasn't sold on it before. I think that I had to, like, change what I expected out of the game, and this goes back to this thing that you always say, which is this game's taking so long to come out that people's expectations of this game are light years ahead of what this game's actually going to be. And I think for me, the social aspect of it is what I had not. That's where my imagination didn't run wild. So now that I've kind of come back down into what I think is actually going to happen, I'm a little more excited.
I mean, I hope that. So I'm still actively playing Pokemon Go. I hope that I have the same experience with No Man's Sky, where I've got a few friends that I'm constantly sending pictures of in Pokemon when I catch certain things. I hope that No Man's Sky is that way. Like, I hope that I'm at work and I get pictures from people who aren't at work who are seeing something for the first time.
Yeah.
When they're there's a gorilla with a tuba growing out of his back. Like, I hope that those are the kind of things I'm seeing from you guys. Like, you're pumped about the thing that you found and maybe named, and so much so that you want to show somebody.
But I also hope that we each have like a different experience at the game too, right? I hope that I expect you to go down and explore the world. Like, you might spend the entire time on one planet, but I think that I might spend more time like in space, just flying between systems. I might drop down on a planet to get fuel or something, but I don't see myself spending a lot of time on one particular planet.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
I don't know that I'm striving towards the center of the universe all the time, but I think I'm trying to
based off of what I know now, which is nothing about the game. I have no desire to get to the center of the universe.
No, I don't either.
I
actually want to go further away.
I want to exist.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be that, like, space, like, scavenger that if he lands, like, he's not leaving your planet till he sees everything.
Now, I'll tell you what's terrifying is I'm looking at a screenshot right now where there's a shark.
I believe you don't have to go underwater, though. It'd be your choice.
This is a very clear shark. It's not like a mutant shark or anything like that. It is a shark.
So I guess the worry I have, though, about No Man's Sky, as we get closer, when you hear this podcast, you're either a day away or it's already out, are the 14 quintillion planets. Are they are they all the same? Like, are you on a blue one and I'm on a red one?
Yeah, like, are there 4 planet types?
Yeah, yeah. Is there? I hope it's more than 4, but are there 10 planet types? Are there 50 animals with 600 variations? Like,
right? Is it like the weapons in Destiny, where they're like, there's infinite combinations of weapons, but what there really are like 10 models for each particular weapon class, and they just randomize what they all do?
Right. That's my fear. Like, is it not as vast as it sounds?
Yeah.
Is it just a creeper in a different color whenever you land there? Or is it something, and I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it can't be something new every time you land somewhere, and I get that. But, is it going to feel, are the planets going to feel the same to me? Like, every 4th planet, is it going to look the same?
Yeah. If you go in one solar system, is the first planet all the way back to the 4th planet the same in every solar system? Like, do they, are they similar, or like, are you, like, when can you discern the pattern of what you're going to find, right? Like, here comes this star, it's a certain size, so I know that the 3rd planet is going to be this type, and it's going to have this type of fuel on it, and most likely this kind of animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, when can we find the pattern in how the planets are generated?
I assume you start to lose a little excitement when you're entering the planet, the place you're about to land, and you can already from above tell what you are probably going to see there.
Right.
Like, it'll lose some luster when it's not unique anymore.
Well, and the problem with it is Sean Murray came out and said each planet in the universe is unique. Every planet you go to will be something new, and you'll never
is that because
they're
not the exact same size? That's technically something different.
Right. So I can't imagine that there's a way to infinitely, so that every planet is different. I can't imagine that there's a way to do that. Maybe there is, and this is the greatest game coming out of all time. Like, this is a step in a direction that video games didn't know that it needed to go in, right? Maybe this level of procedural generation takes video games in a step that, like, we got VR going one way and we got this thing going in another way, and we didn't know that we even needed it.
I mean, I think if you take all the variables and you say, like, there's 20 types of ground and there's 20 types of trees, and all those 20 have 50 different shaders, and you keep on like that with everything. It's possible that they're different, but how different really is that?
Right. I mean, you need to have enough of a canister of assets to like really play the game and never see the same thing twice. You probably need like 2,000 to 5,000 variations of everything, right? Like every animal, you would have to have like subsets, like two legs, 4 legs, let's say 6 legs, flying, fish types, like 10 different fish types, 3 different bird types. Like you need a lot of different types, and then for each type of animal, you would have to have like, let's say 1,000 variations on leg configurations, head configurations, snouts and tusks, eyes, hair, patterns. Like once you start hitting like that kind of number, sure, you're not going to see it all.
But couldn't you have all that in a game that takes up 6 gigs on a disc?
That's okay. So here's what scares me about that little bit of information. 6 gigabytes of information on the disc, and most of it's audio.
Right.
I would guess 3 to 4 gigabytes of it's audio, meaning that it's mostly music and that repetitive sound effects. So footsteps aren't going to change depending on what planet you land on. Most laser tools are going to sound the same. Most ships are going to sound the same. Space has its sounds. Land has its sounds. There's not much unique to the way that animals sound. But what's really scary is textures are big, and texture variations are big. So unless color variation and pattern variation are all done in shaders, like it's all generated on the fly in the GPU based on code and not a texture that's loaded onto the disk, I don't see them having enough texture files in, let's say they have 4 gigabytes for textures, right? And that goes against, well, the majority of its music. But let's say it's 4 gigabytes for textures exclusively. I don't think that's enough for 18 quintillion planets or whatever it's supposed to be. For planets, for like grass, rocks, water, underwater rocks, all the animals and all the variations of the animals and the ships and the guns, and like that's not enough room for textures, man. Grand Theft Auto has a very finite number of textures that are all very clear and high res, and that game's like 50 gigs.
I hope that,
and it has a lot of audio too.
I hope that this game is what people want it to be, but I think it probably isn't. And I blame Sony. I blame Hello Games to a certain point, and I blame social media for making this game something it never wanted to be.
This should have been a $19.99 or $29.99 DLC game.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it being a full retail, but when you come out and say you'll never see 2 planets that are the same, you could play this game forever and not finish it. Well, you can play any fucking game forever and not finish it.
You can play Metal Gear forever and not finish it.
You could play Super Mario Bros. 3 forever and not finish it, if you play the same level over and over.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to be tasked with landing on planets that all look the same...
Right. And if every planet's unique because there's a different rock in one location of all of them, that's not a unique planet,
Right, but you're talking about... And I don't mean to disrespect this, but you're talking about the guys who made Joe Danger. All right, that's who's making this game.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they can't make something fantastic, but it's like 15 people. It's not 400 people who've been working for 4 years. Like, I think everyone just really has to understand what this game is going to be.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's unfortunate because I don't think you can realize, because I just don't think you've seen enough to be able to say what am I going to do in this game.
Right, but okay, so here's the thing, right? Grand Theft Auto comes out like once every 4 or 5 years, and when it comes, like, that's a huge studio working on a big budget game with infinite amount of fucking money, right? Those games come out and you drop down into those worlds and you're like, shit, this is too much, right? There's so much here, I'll never see it all. And like a month later, you're like, all right, I know where everything is. I've been everywhere. I've seen it all. I've seen every little
Like
nook
you
and
actually
cranny
start to
that's
learn
fucking-
the roads and learn where things are, where they are.
Yeah,
Everybody
dude,
except for me.
Right, you're like, well, like our one buddy that knows like which direction's north by how the sun's setting in fucking Grand Theft Auto. Like, so you actually have like even in a game like that where it seems like there's infinite variations, like 5 years and endless money, and it's still a finite game. Or Elder Scrolls, right? It takes 4 or 5 years, a lot of fucking money. It comes out, and it's still a finite game. I don't understand how a 15-person team with a small budget in 5 years has made something that dwarfs those in scale.
We'll know real soon. It did come out PCs delayed 3 days, so that's something to think about when you're listening to this.
I think PC is probably the most advantageous system to get this on because you will be able to mod it, I will assume.
Yeah, there'll be tons of mods for the PC.
Right, so there are actually there are infinite possibilities on PC.
If this game
with
isn't what people think it is, they may be able to make it that game on PC.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm super pumped for this. I know kind of the way I'm talking sounds a little negative. I think people need to get in the right headspace before they play this game.
You've got to go in with caution, dude,
Yeah.
because this game is like you really can't let yourself hype the game up either.
Like I have no doubt that I'm going to enjoy this game. I just think it's important that you don't.
Wow.
Yeah. My brain needed a little more oxygen. I think it's just important that people remember you don't know what it is, and just because you wanted something doesn't mean that was ever part of the plan.
Yeah.
So go in with an open mind and, see if it's something for you. This is a perfect game to Redbox. You could probably know in 30 minutes if this is the game you want to buy.
Yeah.
So if you can find it out there, if you don't care about, the wonder of seeing something yourself for the first time, then watch some videos on it when it comes out. They haven't sent review copies out yet, so it's probably going to be Monday at the earliest if you see stuff. But, I mean, as far as I know, review copies weren't even sent out on Friday.
Now, I would like to say this. We're recording this on Sunday. I'm on Amazon right now, and I can buy this game digitally, and it says play today.
I mean, I don't think that's the case, but go for it.
Now, what I can't do is if I buy it on digital is if I hate it, return it.
It's true.
But, I mean, dude, this has a code ready to go, so.
I bet what happens is you get it today, you put the code in, and then it does the pre-install.
I don't know. It has said pre-install all week, and now it says play it today. Like in green, it says play today.
I don't know. Maybe. Let me see if I see that.
Yeah, because I'm going to try to find another game that has digital that's on the way. Like, let me try Gran Turismo.
Now, they have said that they're going to reset the servers before it comes out. Because obviously there has been people internally playing it, and that son of a bitch that bought the game off eBay. So they're going to reset the servers. They have a big update that they're finishing up. So, I mean, I think that I don't think it's out early. I don't think you get to play it early. So you're on Amazon, right?
Uh-huh.
Let me go check Amazon. We'll start.
I've got Amazon. I've got No Man's Sky on PlayStation 4.
I'm going to start there and see if it shows that I could play it today. Now, I've pre-ordered the physical. That's where I'm going to stay.
But if you could play it today, would you?
If I could play the physical today, yes. But if you told me I had to get the digital to play today, I would just wait till Tuesday.
I don't know that for a 6 gigabyte game the physical's going to make much difference to me.
I just want the physical for me.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't even see the digital version.
Click on
the physical and can you change it to digital?
Yeah, if you click on edition standard, it says buy new $59.99, buy digital $59.99, play today. See that?
No, I'm on my phone though, so maybe I don't even get that option.
Mm.
Yeah, all I see is
pop a screenshot for you.
No, I mean I trust you. It clearly says on mine that it'll be released August 9th.
Right. I just want you to be able to see it.
So I don't know I think I got the limited for this game.
There's a screenie in the chat for you.
I think I got the limited edition for this game.
LE.
I think so. That's real tiny. I can't see it.
Click on it, bro.
It won't get any bigger. I clicked on it. Skype, just a little behind the scenes. Skype being a real dickhead this morning.
Yeah, Skype is fucking stupid today.
Available now. Get a digital copy instantly. I
Yeah.
mean, you could try it. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't get the limit. I feel like I didn't get the limited because it didn't come with anything physically other than a steelbook. Where do you stand on collector's editions? What's your thought process with CE?
So I have moved from buy them all to only buy the ones that I care about. Like I'm gonna get Last Guardian.
So you're talking about buying the digital version of No Man's Sky.
Yeah, thinking about it.
Is it smart for them to sell the collector edition, like the collector's edition memorabilia separate for the people who do want to buy digital?
I don't think it's a bad idea because I think some people don't know that they want the collector stuff until they've fallen in love with the game.
Okay, so Amazon's doing this for Battlefield 1.
So I've heard.
You can buy the collector's edition Sans game for $130.
Mm-hmm.
Or for $190, you can buy a whole package that comes with a physical copy. But if you're the kind of guy who wants to pre-order through the store, play at midnight, I think it makes a lot of sense to also still be able to get the junk to go with it.
Yeah.
I actually think this is kind of a neat idea. I don't know how many people will do it. I don't know if Battlefield's the right game to do it on. Do you want a Battlefield statue? Maybe. But for people who are digital, for someone like Dan, I think this is the way of the future for him. To be able to still get all the trinkets and knickknacks, but also be able to play his game at midnight and not ever have to switch disc or leave for the store, or go whatever it is. The inconvenience of doing that. He can just click his button on his PS4, but still have the stuff show up.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. The collector's edition is only available through Amazon. That version. I guess depending on how this does, then maybe you see this for the future. But I think it's... I hate that some collector's editions come with digital copies of the game. That pisses me off, a physical kind of guy. I think it doesn't make sense to give you a digital code with a physical collector's edition.
Yeah.
Because you're a collector. But I also think that it's not fair to people who want it digitally that they can't still get the stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. So if you're a Battlefield guy, go for it. You can also pick up the deluxe version, the exclusive collector's edition. It's $220, which is insane. Now let me tell you what this comes with. I like this collector's edition. This is the $130 one. There's one part that I think you're going to be able to pick out that I really like. So there's a 14-inch statue.
That's not that.
A steelbook case. A cloth poster. A deck of cards. A messenger pigeon tube that holds codes for TLC content.
That's it. That's the thing.
God damn it. Now, if it came with a pigeon, I'd pull the trigger.
Right.
If it came with a trained, courier pigeon... If I thought that you and I could communicate through pigeon if I bought this game.
I mean, we could always train pigeons.
Could we?
Yeah, I don't see why not. See, it seems reasonable. It seems like a practical...
I'd put a coop out back. A box. What do pigeons sleep in? Like a cage.
It's a coop.
I'd put a coop. A coop? I'd put a coop out back if you put a coop at your apartment. And I really thought that I could just walk outside and there'd be a pigeon with a message strapped to his leg.
Yeah, but we have text messaging.
It doesn't. There's nothing fucking cooler than seeing a pigeon
Don't
swoop
say
in.
it doesn't matter. Don't say it doesn't matter. It matters.
A pigeon swooping in, carrying the news of the day. That's what matters.
Right.
It's a lost art.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. I feel confident to say it's a lost art.
Okay.
So you've talked about getting No Man's Sky. The other one you keep talking about, Overwatch. You ready to pull the trigger on that yet? Or are you still being a baby about it?
I'm still being a baby about Overwatch because No Man's Sky is coming out. And I don't know how much time I'm going to invest in it.
Well, 15 million players have invested time in Overwatch.
15 million people that are better than me.
Yeah, but it's not. That's not what it's about in Overwatch. It's about being a team.
I guess so.
A TP, a team player.
I like thinking about it being called a TP.
Right, a team player. That's what you want to be. It's about being that guy, being a support character, support role. Activision Blizzard announced during the earnings call that it had top 15 million players. Also, that they're doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that's kind of due to the fact that they bought King, the makers of that sweet ass Candy Crush. So, some numbers are, I think, a little skewed. They said they had 491 million monthly active users, which sounds fucking giant for one quarter.
That's insane.
Until you realize that 409 million of those are all playing Candy Crush style games. They're all mobile.
Yeah. That's still insane. I hate mobile gaming, so the fact that it's working
massive.
is...
Right. They paid a pretty penny for them, so it's good to see that it might be paying off.
Yeah, that shit's bonkers.
Yeah, I mean, they also said that Call of Duty, was it Black Ops 3, is the best-selling game on current-gen platforms. Which, not a shocker to me. I thought Madden had a real chance to be that. People love their Madden every year. Madden's pretty massive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disputing that. I'm just...
Do the earnings calls, do they get you going?
No, not really.
I've got another one for you.
What I like about them is it gives me a good idea of how far off the mark I am with like being in touch with gaming.
So if I said, let's talk about Take-Two, how well are they doing?
Take-Two?
Yeah.
I mean, they're obviously killing it because Grand Theft Auto is still selling at at full retail, and they're the publisher on that, right?
Right.
Take-Two is over Rockstar, right?
So I actually thought this one was a little unexpected to me. So digital revenue is fucking up pretty significantly. 154 million last year, 172.1 million this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think you give a lot of that credit to Grand Theft Auto Online. Those shark cards are sell like crazy. But they suffered a net loss for the quarter of $38.6 million. Sounds like a lot of money, but last year in the same period, they lost $67 million.
Goddamn, what's happening over there?
I'll tell you what's happening. This is totally based off of the way I feel inside. Battleborn. No one played that game. No one bought that game.
Yeah, that didn't work out the way they thought it would.
I think that hurt them. But 2K is fucking massive. So you think that would help cancel it out.
Right.
But yeah, I would say Battleborn really, really, really hurt them. I don't know. They've got... they just announced that XCOM 2 is going to be delayed for the consoles. Apparently they're having issues getting that game where it needs to be. I just... How much does Take-Two rely on Rockstar?
I think almost exclusively.
To keep them afloat.
I think almost exclusively.
I agree with you, because on this earnings call, they also said that Rockstar will be ready to announce something very soon.
What do you think it is? What do you think Rockstar's announcing?
Red Dead 2.
You mean Red Dead 3?
Yeah. I think it's this generation's Red Dead 2.
I hope it's a new IP.
You hope it's the agent for exclusive for PS4.
I think it's Midnight Club.
I would play Midnight Club. I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's Red Dead. I think it'll sell fucking hotcakes. I mean, I don't know what to say. People like Red Dead. I really felt more strongly that it was Red Dead when they went backwards compatible with the last one for Xbox One.
Yeah.
I felt more strongly about my feelings that it was Red Dead. I also, like everyone I know on Xbox One, is playing Red Dead again.
I don't dislike Red Dead, and we had some really good times in Red Dead Redemption, but I don't buy into the thing that gamers tend to do, which is they lock on to a certain series and then they just want it forever. Or better yet, they just want I guess what to me what Red Dead is a clone of Grand Theft Auto set in the Wild West. Like they lock on to, well, I want another Grand Theft Auto, but I don't want it to be called Grand Theft Auto, so I want Red Dead. Like, I would much rather see Rockstar jump into an IP that they haven't been on top of in a long time, like Midnight Club, or like
what about Table Tennis too?
I hated that fucking game. It was a good game, but I fucking hated it because I wasn't good. But like Manhunt would be a badass. Like Manhunt 3, dude, if that came out.
There's been some chatter about Manhunt. I don't think we'll see it. There's been some chatter. A lot of chatter about Bully.
Yeah, Bully was not a game that I ever liked.
Bully was fun. I don't know what more you do with Bully. I think it's probably done.
Yeah. But there are other Rockstar games out there besides Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto.
I'll tell you what I would like to see.
All right.
State of Emergency.
No, never.
Done in the correct way.
Maybe.
Remember the hype for that game?
I do. It was on every magazine. It was on like Time.
It had a red sticker on the front that said "must be 18 years old to buy."
I didn't buy it though.
I begged Papa to buy it for me.
Oh, Papa.
Got it home, put it in. Damn it.
I didn't mess with that shit.
It's not good. It's not fun. It's not even violent or gory or as mature as they made it to be. Big letdown. But I think that's a game you could revisit because Rockstar doesn't like to fail. L.A. Noire, I think not that game, but that style of game is something they could go back to.
Yeah, I would like to see that done in a more enjoyable way for sure.
Surfing H3O, an early Rockstar game.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, maybe they could revisit that. I'm sure you'd love a surfing game.
Yeah, another game I don't ever have to look at.
All right, I hope the first planet you land on in No Man's Sky is just totally like walking sharks.
Jesus Christ,
sharks' legs. That's what I hope. That's what I hope for you. Because I think that it'll help you. Like, can you use video games to slowly overcome your fear?
I don't know. Well, here's a step in the right direction. I've been taking baths, like sit down baths. So there's that.
Is it related to video games though?
No, it's related to the fact that I have like blisters on my legs from insect bites.
I want video games to help
allergic.
you. Would you play the Deep or the Cage or the Shark game on PSVR?
No.
You can't see a world where you could even try it.
I don't even think it's something I would entertain.
What about a game like Abzu? It is set underwater, but fish are your friends.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's still shark in it.
Abzu, I know I kind of brushed over it earlier. Very good game. It was perfect for me. It's a 2.5 hour experience. It's $15, so it's very much in that Journey price. So it's our director of Journey.
Yeah, but it's underwater.
Totally significant
not
amounts of that.
Right, not totally.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I've heard it's not total.
Pretty much, but yeah. But the sharks are not like any sharks you would encounter. Because it's almost like everything in the game doesn't realize that you're there.
Yeah, I still don't like it though. Endless Ocean was a completely passive game, but it still scared the dog shit out of me.
Endless Ocean 2, you can be attacked by the sharks.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
That ruined it a little bit for me because they like tail whipped you. which is weird because that's not how sharks fight.
Why would a shark tail whip you?
Because it was still not violent. They still want to keep it E for everyone.
I see.
Endless Ocean won the better game with a killer soundtrack. Couple songs on there, fucking incredible. I want that. I want a new Endless Ocean, a new Aquanauts Holiday, or just underwater exploration.
Yeah.
And Abzu scratches that itch a little bit, but it leaves you wanting more when it comes to that, because that game is more about like your journey, not about... It's not about being underwater, it's not about the fish, it's not about any of that. And that's why I think I could see you still being able to play that game. Because it's,
I don't know,
it's
man.
not about what you're doing.
Yeah, but it's a deep fear, man.
So I think that game could get creepy really quick for you if you started to explore. But I think if you played it safe and you kept it in the jolly looking places, up top where everything's bright and colorful, because it's nighttime all the time deep down in the ocean.
Right, I've heard that.
Right, and there are some areas where you can't help but go in there, so that would probably not work for you because things come out of the shadows.
Right.
But nothing's aggressive. You could just tell yourself, like, nothing is aggressive. It's not there to get you. It doesn't care that you're there. It won't acknowledge you unless you ride it.
I can't even believe that that's true.
You can mount the animals.
Great.
You don't really mount them. You hold on to a dorsal fin. And then I like to breach the water when I'm holding on to an animal.
Right.
When I'm holding on to a fish, I like to breach. The orcas, we did a nice front flip when we exited the water. And truly a cool moment. Orcas are majestic. They're killers.
Orcas are scary.
They're killers. Yeah, they're stone cold killers.
Yeah, my time in Seattle, a lot of billboards that proclaim that you should never go near the orca.
They just remind you that they are called killer whales.
Ever. Stay away from it as far as you can. People like to kayak out in the sound, and it's one of those. I guess people go just hog wild and want to like touch an orca when they're out in the boat with it.
Uh-huh.
You'll have to explain that to me because I'll never get in the water with one of the fucking monsters. But they have like so many recorded deaths per year because the fucking hippies in Seattle, they want to kayak out.
They want to touch the fucking whale.
They see a school of whales, they paddle over, and then a whale like breaches and lands on them and fucking kills them. So they have these billboards, like don't approach the orcas, don't
pet the orcas.
Don't try it. Yeah, it's not in your best interest.
So I read an interesting story that you won't find interesting at all, probably.
I don't know if it's interesting. Then you might have to requalify that word.
To me, it's interesting.
All right,
humpback whales are coming to the aid of animals that orcas are trying to eat, like all over the world.
I don't know if I agree with that.
So, say that there's so one of the stories there was a seal stuck on the ice. You know how you've seen the whales where they'll break the ice off until it's on a little piece,
yeah,
and then they'll tip it over and they'll fucking tear it to shreds.
They're monsters.
Yeah.
They're absolute monsters.
Yeah, so they're doing that. They've got a seal. They've got him on a tiny piece of ice. He's dinner. 2 humpback whales come up, throw themselves in front of the whales as they try to charge the ice. For like 6 hours until the whales give up. So that they can't eat the seal.
That's great, but
there's other like stories and photos of them going after a sea lion or whatever. Humpbacks coming up underneath the sea lion, flipping over so their belly is up, and letting the sea lion ride on them till the orcas give up.
I'm a big all right. So Mother Nature fucking sucks. I don't really ever. I don't like watching things happen. But by God, animals have got to eat other animals. That's how it works.
Why are humpbacks doing that though? That's what I don't get.
They're softies, man. They're turning into big pussies.
So, some people think it's because so a full grown humpback, an adult humpback, a mature humpback is too big for an orca to eat.
Right.
If it's in health, but they eat their calves. So some people think it's just a big fuck you, stop eating our babies, or we'll cut off your whole fucking chain of food chain.
I mean, I get that, but then they're just going to keep eating the babies because it's,
and some people think it's just that they are just big softies. Like, it's just, they don't want to see it go down like that.
Right.
Like the equivalent of being like, no, not cool, bro, of the water.
But I mean, that's how it's got to go. You got to let it go down like that.
I just think it's odd because apparently they're not doing it if it's something like, if there's a great white about to eat one, they're not doing that. But they're doing it to orcas.
Maybe they just don't like orcas. Maybe they're just heartless sons of bitches.
Orcas are fucking mean, I'll tell you. It's weird that's the whale that we put in tanks and said, this will be our entertainment.
I guess.
Is it weird that we picked that one?
No, I mean...
And then it kills somebody and we're like, what? I mean, it's a killer whale.
I guess that's weird.
That we're shocked?
Yeah, that we're shocked that it would, that it would go down like that.
Like that Tillicum has potentially killed 3 people.
Right.
It is what he does. He's bored. You put him in a bathtub.
Yeah.
You fuck with him all the time.
Yeah.
And you're shocked that he killed somebody.
Old Tillicum.
They want him released. He'll just die. You can't release him.
Right.
Free Willy. Try to release that one.
Free William.
Died.
What was his
name?
Christian name?
Do you want to take a guess at it?
Man. It was something Hawaiian. I remember.
I think it starts with a K. I'm looking it up, but go ahead and guess.
I can't remember. Kiko, you motherfucker.
He was originally Siggy? C-I-G-G-I?
Siggy. 2 G's makes a hard G sound.
Well, sometimes.
Every time.
He died December 2013.
That makes sense.
Listen, let me give you some backstory. He was the male orca who portrayed Willy in the 1993 film Free Willy.
Uh-huh. William the Free, some people call it.
He's credited, though an animatronic whale was actually used for most, if not all, of the scenes with him in it.
I see.
That just ruined a little bit for me. Gotta be honest
fault.
with you. That peek behind the curtain was more than I wanted.
Well, you shouldn't have gone looking, I guess.
Well, the good news is that's straight off the wiki, so it could all be a lie.
What do you think the chances of it being a lie are, though?
90-10.
Huh.
Did you like the Free Willy movies?
I've seen them.
That's not what I asked you. Everyone's seen them.
That's my answer.
I had the necklace because I bought the movie that came, like the special edition. It came with the necklace that he wears, I think, in Free Willy 2.
Yeah.
It's like the little whale carving.
I remember those days when, like, Indian in the Cupboard came out and it had the key and the Indian with it.
Yeah.
Everything had some little trinket.
What happened to that?
People realized it was stupid.
Speak for yourself. You remember Prey 2?
I try not to. I try to forget about it every day.
Prey 2 was going to come out. People played it. People said this is fucking incredible. It can't come out soon enough. It just never came out.
Right.
This is one of those gaming lore stories people like to talk about. What happened to Prey 2?
Mm-hmm.
It turns out it's not as interesting as you think it is. Or that people think it is.
Did it get repurposed?
No, it just wasn't as good as they wanted it to be.
That makes sense.
So they just didn't make it. Like, they just stopped making it.
Sense.
Certainly, I think the story is a little deeper than that. But Pete Hines, VP of marketing for Bethesda, was talking to GameSpot at QuakeCon, and he basically just says that the game wasn't where they wanted it to be, and they didn't see a path for getting it there. And I think
makes perfect sense to me.
It makes a lot of sense. I think the reason people are like, oh, there's more to it is because no one does this. People release broken and fucked up and bad games all the time now. That's the thought process.
Yeah.
So for Bethesda to say, or not. We didn't release it because it wasn't right, and we didn't know how to make it right.
Yeah.
People were like, no. There's beef. Who's beefing, bro?
There's beef, brah.
There might actually be some beef. I don't really know. By all accounts from the media, this game was really good behind closed doors. Like, they played this game and it was really, really good. So for it just not to be fitting the vision, I don't know if that is the whole story, but I like his answer. Like, we're done. We don't talk about it because it never happened.
There's nothing else.
Right. I think there's probably, the Human Head, the developer's working on something different now. I think there's maybe some bad blood. Bethesda did call and let the Human Head co-founder, Chris Reinhardt, know before they announced it, that they were about to announce it, when they came up with this new Prey that you saw at E3 this year.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's just weird to me that this has been blown up to be such a huge story. It could just be the case of they had a vertical slice of that game that was awesome but couldn't figure out how to make it a game.
Like, that's what we saw was all they had.
Right. Like that's like finding out 10 years from now that Kojima and Konami left cool.
Dude, they left cool, right?
Like that's like finding out 10 years from now that they left cool. They just did all that to hype up Metal Gear without actually having to pay.
Dude, I know that's what happened.
So, but that's the equivalent of that. To, this story that people have always where's Prey 2 at? Where's Prey 2?
All right.
Is Prey 2 going to come on this new Prey? Where's Prey 2? And them to be like, oh yeah, Prey 2, it wasn't very good, so we stopped making it. I don't know. Is that the whole story? You think it is? Was it just not coming together, or was there beef? Was somebody beefing?
I think it's an honest answer. I think it just wasn't coming together the way they wanted it to.
Yeah,
they said, hey, instead of making it look like we're a bunch of J-asses, let's just cut it off now.
I agree with what you first said. It wasn't coming together like they wanted. But my assumption is a little deeper in that somebody was making the game they wanted, but it was not the game that Bethesda wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those things like, why don't you just go do whatever it is you want to do? Because clearly you don't want to do what we want you to do.
Right.
So that game then just sat.
Right.
And at some point someone said, we're not going to make that right. And they're like, clearly not. The new Prey looks awesome. Bethesda's fucking killing it lately.
Yeah.
Look what they've done with bringing stuff back. People love Doom. What's the other
Wolfenstein?
one? Wolfenstein. Fucking incredible. They're doing good things. And I believe that Prey is probably going to be another game that people are going to play and really like. I don't know. I just wonder if this is... I think it's a real honest answer without any details on purpose.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder if we'll ever get a deeper look. I wouldn't mind this other guy coming forward and saying that's not at all the story. But he probably
You think
won't.
he ever will, though?
No, I don't think so. Because I think he
happen.
probably feels a little jaded. If my assumption is that he was trying to make the game he wanted and that wasn't working for them, I would feel jaded if I was him.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about it. I don't want to do... I just want to forget that time.
Yeah.
You're still not playing Pokemon Go.
I'm never going to.
Why?
I just don't want to.
I'm playing it. If you're playing it, you know that there's basically no tracking system. You have no fucking clue where these things are at. So third-party sites started to pop up like Pokevision. The whole point of a site like that is to help you track and locate Pokemon.
Sounds great.
Sounds great, right? Sounds like the kind of thing you'd want in a game that didn't give you a way to do that.
Right.
Niantic.
Except it sounds like it tracks you.
It's Niantic, the company behind Pokemon Go, thought this idea is fucking terrible. We're going to pull all those sites down.
Okay.
We're gonna force them to stop.
Okay.
People are upset. People are really fucking upset. People are saying, if you're not going to give us a way to track, then don't fucking go after the people who are. Apparently people are reaching out to Google and to Apple like crazy, demanding their money back that they've spent on the game. because the game is not. There's no is a shell of the game they spent money on, according to them.
I get that.
Personally know people who have reached out, people who have been refunded money, which I think is wild. Because you spent and enjoyed the money before it went wrong.
Right.
The only way I could see it happening is if you still had a balancing game. The person I know that got money back does not have balancing game anymore. They spent $60 on the game and were able to get all 60 back.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's very, very odd. So people are outraged. Niantic came out and said, look, we did shut these things down, but we did it because they're fucking killing our servers by trying to stay connected and search and everything. Because it's using all of their data in order to tell you where the stuff is at. And they said as long as those leeches, those bloodsuckers, were doing that, they couldn't launch Pokemon Go in a lot of territories where it's not out yet. That sounds like PR spin to me.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound...
They released a bar graph also.
Okay.
They showed the load before and the load after. Significant, but it's a bar graph that anybody can make.
Right. Like it doesn't sound like it's PR spin, but it's not like bad PR spin to me.
If you know people want it, then why don't you partner with one of those? Partner with Pokevision and say this is the only one that's going to exist. They're not going to have to do this backdoor shady stuff because we're going to provide them with info. And they're going to give us some of their ad revenue. I'm sure everybody would be down for that.
Probably, yeah.
And just sometimes I think there's a lot of knee-jerk reactions in game. We'll do our own site down the road, or we'll fix the in-game tracking down the road. Like, what about now, though? Because people are pissed now, and people aren't going to play Pokemon Go forever. I'm already starting to hit a wall now, not where I don't enjoy the game, but where I can't find anything new. I've got 83, and I don't know how much more I can find in the area that we live in that are different. I'm just not seeing anything. You
think that's because they're not there?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, there are things that have never popped up for me to be able to catch, or to have the opportunity to not catch.
Right.
I've not seen all of them pop up, so I think some of that just has to do with the region we live in.
Yeah.
You know, if you go out west, there's fire Pokemon everywhere. Here, you just don't see that many of them. We got grass Pokemon for days. So I just wonder how long it's going to hold my attention now that I am not seeing new stuff constantly. But shout out to all my homies who are upset about Pokevision being gone, though, because it did make the game a little harder. The game's actually harder too. When they did this last update, they accidentally increased the ability or the frequency in which the Pokemon escape the Pokeball.
That's pretty cool.
Well, nope, they said it's a bug. They didn't mean to.
Oh, okay.
They're trying to fix it because they know people are upset. Because you can toss a ball at like a 30 combat power Pidgey and it'll get out somehow.
I don't know what any of that means.
Right. That's why I use specifics. I didn't want you to know. So people are upset about that. They say they're patching that. Just bear with them. Bear with us. That's everybody's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know how you guys feel. We're working on it. What does that do for me now? Right. Now I got this broken ass Pokemon game.
Now we both know it's broken and nobody's doing a fucking thing.
Pokemon Go.
Mongo.
See, that's what I hear is Pokey and then Mongo.
Mongo McMichaels.
I can no longer hear Pokemon Go. I only hear Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's driving me a little bananas. I see how people could go crazy, like where they get it, like one thing, they just hear that word, it just fucking sets them off.
They get those earworms.
That's something different, I think.
No, that's what it's called. It's called an earworm.
Cats get ear mites.
Mm-hmm. They sure do.
Yep, that's the thing.
By God, they do.
Have you ever had ear mites?
I have not.
Me either. Have you ever had head lice? Did you touch heads with a dirty kid in school?
Yeah, I had head lice as a kid.
How was that?
Well, my little brother liked to hang out with the gross kids. So
no offense if you're listening and you got headlights. It's just not our thing.
yeah, it happens when you're a kid because kids are fucking gross and they go rub their head in the dirt and that's where the lice are. And the little kids, they scratch their heads and they scratch other kids' heads and they're not thinking about it.
They touch noggins.
Right, because they're fucking stupid. They're children. They don't know any better. It was a pain in the... I'm trying to remember because I was a kid.
They have to cut your hair?
No.
You just washed it.
Yeah, I think I remember my mom was like ultra pissed because she had to drive... Cause we lived like 30 minutes from the closest store. So I think that she was giving my brother a bath after he came in from playing with the dirty kid next door. Who
Shout out to the dirty kid next door, too.
The dirty kid next door, like, always had head lice because his parents fucking hated him and never gave him a bath. Yeah. So he's one of those kids that he just smelled like old socks and it was always scratching his head. You stay away from him. And she, I guess, in washing his head, found head lice. I don't know, but she had to go get this special shampoo.
So it wasn't official. Like the school didn't send you home.
No. Like she found them, and then she like gave him the shampoo, used the comb on his hair. Then she checked mine, made sure that I didn't have them, and I don't remember her running the comb through my hair, but I had to like use the hair wash to make sure that I didn't have any. And then she pulled all the sheets and everything off the bed and like
so did you actually
ran those
have
through
them?
Boiling water. Huh?
Did you actually have them?
I don't think I actually had them, but we had them in the house, and I remember the preventative measures being a pain in the ass.
Right.
I know that my brother had them, but it was just like because little kids, it was a little kid thing.
I remember getting checked in school.
Yeah, I remember him doing the checks.
Remember they did the gorilla thing on you?
What?
Like the way that?
Oh yeah, they're like picking through your hair. I remember one time. I think that we had a friend named Brittany who got sent home because her brother, or her little brother, or her little sister, or something. She was in high school with us, and the elementary school did a check on her brother, and they sent her home because you don't know, like it's all in the same household.
You can't roll
There's
the
no way
dice,
to be
right.
sure. Right, we got to save everybody, or we got to cut you loose, or risk ruining the whole team over here.
Yeah, headlights was a big thing, and then when you got older, mono was a big thing.
Yeah, I never got mononucleosis either.
Me either, but you could just grab mono from a friend real easy, like.
Yeah, I also wasn't like I don't drink after people.
Right, I do, love to.
And I never used the water fountains at school. And I only had the one girlfriend. Now, I had a friend named Adam that got mono, and my mom was like, "Just go over there and see if you can get it. Just like go hang out with Adam, because if you get mono and you can make it through, you're gonna be fine, just like chickenpox.
Go over there and see if you can get it."
I never had chickenpox.
It's like you were asked to borrow $20 though. Just go over there and see if you can do it.
Yeah, it was like they just sent me out into the world. They're like, "Hey, if you can survive that, you can probably survive anything. Go try to get it."
They're not wrong. Now I had the pox as a child.
Yeah, I never had the pox.
I also had jaundice when I was born.
Jaundice, yeah, boy.
No jaundice.
Old orange skin.
That old jaundice.
Jaundice. What's the cure for jaundice?
I don't know. As a baby.
All right.
I also had the what's the when you got the upset tummy all the time? Colic.
I don't know. Irritable bowel syndrome.
No, I think I had the. Isn't it called colic?
IBS. Dude, I don't know. How many kids do you think I have?
I don't think you have IBS as a child either.
I don't know what you have.
Now, everybody, I like to feel like the whole world has IBS now because of all the bullshit that everybody eats.
Dude, I have some IBS.
I like to think the world does. You just have something, and then 10 to 20 minutes later, you go shit yourself blind.
Yeah, dude, that's my world.
Almost with every meal.
That's my world.
That's what I like to think the world is doing. Because here's what happened. You'll see someone eat, and then you'll see them leave to the bathroom, and you know.
They're going to drop that off, dude.
Like, their body on the way through grabbed anything it could before they just go in there and just destroy the bathroom.
Yeah,
just blow it out.
I don't think we've had a meal in the past 2 years that I haven't been doubled over in pain within 15 minutes.
Is it like, are you painful? Are you like aggressively shitting though?
No, dude, that's the thing. My body like doesn't do it immediately. My body will wait till 4 a.m. to wake me up. then take 25, 30 minutes to actually go through the motions.
I got a friend, I don't think you know him, but like we talked about that the other day, and he's like, I pretty much like just explode after everything I eat.
God.
And I'm like, maybe you should see a doctor. He's like, I have, and that's what they told me. That's what they told him he had. They didn't call it IBS. It's like the new thing,
right?
But yeah, he just goes in there and fucking just explodes every time. Like 20 minutes, like clockwork after he eats.
That sounds awesome. I wish I could poop like that.
But I don't think so, because I don't think it's like it's more like a water hose type situation, I think.
Dude, that's the kind of poop that I wish I had. Because all right, this maybe too much for the show, but so the kind of poop that I have is the kind of poop that comes out like red clay.
You could throw it and bust a window.
Yeah, like it's sticky. Like you could like it. Like if you took it and stood
hard.
it on end, it would hold up. It's not hard.
It's like bound with Elmer's glue.
Yeah, imagine like mashed potatoes if they didn't have enough like water in them, like dry, like they're, right. like it's sticky, like kind of like cookie dough,
right? Like
that, so it sticks to everything.
That's gross.
So I can't poop anywhere because I have to immediately get in the shower because it sticks to everything. I can spread the bee cheeks out as far as I can and try to give it just like hole to water, and somehow I'll end up with just sticky cookie dough shits.
I like to take a normal poo. I like to think they're normal. Now, I will say, since like as I get older, they seem to be a little softer. They're not clay consistency like you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it used to be like you would drop one off, it looked like a baked potato in there.
Yeah.
And I feel like as I get older, that's not happening as much.
Dude, I'm telling you, I dream about the ones where you sit down and you hear it drop like a stone. You just hear it drop like a fucking stone. You know it just hit that tube and went all the way back. You hear it like 7 or 8 times. You feel complete relief. You wipe once, nothing. You wipe twice just to be sure. You flush it and go about your day. Yeah. Dude, that's so few and far between for me.
Yeah, I do miss the phantom poos where you drop off a giant one. You look, there's nothing there. Those asses never been cleaner.
Yeah, it's like you just got out of the shower.
That ass has never been cleaner.
It smells like you may have farted. Like pooping for me now takes about 45 minutes, but probably 25 of those minutes, maybe even 35 of those minutes are spent wiping my ass.
You're in there with a putty knife.
Yeah, dude, I'm in there trying to get spackle off the
you gotta
inside
be careful
of my...
if you wipe too aggressively.
Yeah, because then you get the tore beehole.
Or the ass chap too.
Yeah, dude.
You're just rubbing the skin off because you think that you're covered in poo.
Yeah, I would say I do like on a good day 8 minutes of pooping out of 45 minutes in the bathroom.
You need a bidet.
God damn it, I dream about them.
You need a bidet.
The rest of the time scraping spackle off my baby's butt skin, dude.
We gotta move forward.
All right.
I just realized
I'm so angry right now.
I just realized there's a quarter of the show we hadn't done yet.
All right, go ahead.
It's time.
Goddamn Skype. Let's right into Skype about why they can't keep this fucking connection alive today.
There's a new segment. It's not that new, but it's still my fucking favorite. It's called Gone But Not Forgotten. We're about to do it right now. It's your turn. We basically reach back. Hold on, let me give you the rundown.
Okay.
Picture yourself as a small child, or maybe not even that small. Picture yourself younger than you are today.
Okay. Yesterday.
A game that you love that you think maybe people forgot about, and that pisses you off.
Right.
You need to remind people you should still love this thing, or you should be aware that this thing was a thing. That's what this segment's about. Gone But Not Forgotten. What's your game?
All right, so we've been playing a lot of games that have us in stitches, just belly aches, the way that we laugh while we're playing them. And I think a good candidate for a nice remake and a game that everybody should go back and play is Road Rash.
Mm-hmm.
Road Rash is a game where you pick a motorcycle. It doesn't fucking matter what motorcycle you pick.
Oh, it matters.
And then you get a weapon. You pick a chain. You pick a baseball bat. You pick any number of things. The chain's the best one, though. Just heads up.
I like the cattle prod thing.
No.
The one where you can zap your bros?
Yeah, the chain whip's the best one because they come by and you just flick them in the face with some metal. Anyway, it's a game about a motorcycle race, but you hit each other while you're driving at like 900 miles an hour. It's a brilliant game because it makes for some great moments, some great funny moments, especially when you go flying over the front of your bike and you have to run back and pick it up and you can't see who's coming down the road, so you just get run over at about 900 miles an hour. It's a great video game. It is in dire need of a reboot, in the like $10 to $20 range on PSN for sure. It came out on 1 million consoles, and they even did a 3D version of it. They did Road Rash 3D, where you could take the side roads and stuff. It wasn't as great, but Road Rash.
I'm very fond of Road Rash. I played on the Genesis.
Yeah. PlayStation 1 for me.
So they had Road Rash, the original. Master System, Game Gear, Game Boy. There was a version planned for the Super Nintendo. Didn't happen.
Too violent.
Potentially. An updated version of the first game was made for CD-based platforms, Sega CD, 3DO, PlayStation, Sega Saturn, and Microsoft Windows. Then they had Road Rash 2. This gem come out. Now let me tell you the best part of this wiki that I'm in. There's a dual mode called mono and mono.
Mm-hmm.
The races take place across the country. Here are the states though: Alaska, Hawaii, Tennessee, Arizona, and Vermont.
Shout out to Tennessee.
Who the fuck picked those though?
Mm.
Then we had Road Rash 3D, Road Rash 3, Road Rash 3D, Road Rash 64, and a Road Rash Jailbreak.
Yeah, Road Rash the original is the gem though.
Yeah. Now Road Rash Jailbreak, a far cry from a gem.
Yeah. We need the original Road Rash, and we don't need it done like Twisted Metal was done.
Who where EA? Does EA own this? It was EA back then, Electronic Arts. Yeah, they own it.
Sure, why not?
Well,
I was gonna say the company that used to own Tomb Raider, but that probably way off.
Eidos?
Yeah, Eidos Interactive. Seems right.
I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna Google right now who owns Road Rash IP.
A good motorcycle racing game with just gratuitous violence, unnecessary and not very real. And the fact that you can just throw a kick at somebody, that's fun too.
Kicking was really fun.
Yeah. What a good game, man.
Here you go. And in 2011, EA boss said, "We haven't forgotten about Road Rash."
That's it. That's all they said.
5 years later, still no Road Rash. It's like we haven't forgotten. We just don't fucking care.
Road Rash, it needs to go, and just wiping out, man. It's so fun on those.
Road Rash creator ready to do another one using Kickstarter if there's interest. So did they try to do they have a failed Kickstarter for this?
Probably. Road Rash Jailbreak is what I imagine they would put out now, which is some garbage. Like everybody has to be a trope of a muscle-bound jail guy that drives a Harley with nunchucks.
Mm-hmm.
It looks terrible.
So he couldn't get the IP. He was trying to make a game called High Speed, which is a spiritual successor to Road Rash. It'll never work, though, because it's not Road Rash.
Right, you gotta have the name.
That's when EA actually said Electronic Arts, and it had like the cube, the sphere, and the triangle, or the pyramid.
Yeah. That actual logo.
Yeah. That's a good gone but not forgotten.
Yeah, I think I've got some good ones in the works.
I've got one.
Road Rash is.
I've got one similar to that. I've got the next one I'm going to go with. I think is probably not similar with that. I don't know. I may piggyback off yours because I got one that's real similar that I enjoyed.
Yeah, our recent run of of multiplayer shenanigans makes me think of Road Rash.
Road Rash with you guys right now. That'd be fucking incredible.
Oh, dude, I would die.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
By not being able to breathe.
I'd get IBS immediately.
Oh yeah, shit your britches.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I was mad about that. Thanks for being here,
dude. I'm more than happy to do this.
You. Yeah. We appreciate you, the listeners.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you, the listeners. Thanks for giving us those ears and letting us just get in all up inside of them each week. It means a lot to us. It also means a lot if you would rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, wherever you listen. I've got some emails lately from people that are saying the new episode's not up. What do we do? You stop listening on some bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I have to make it personal. The fact of the matter is, if the podcast is out on iTunes it is out everywhere else. So if it's not on the service that you use, it's not us. It's not of us. It's not a us thing. But if you're using like Pod Dick or something I've never heard of, like they could be getting that pull from anywhere. Like they're getting that feed from anywhere. Who knows? So a lot of the times when people hit me with obscure like podcast apps and they're like, you're not on here, it's 2 episodes behind. We're not 2 episodes behind. That service for some reason is a little delayed. You should always be able to get the latest episode from iTunes, SoundCloud, or
Stitcher
Spreaker.
is very good.
Stitcher has its moments. Usually, if Spreaker is working, then if Stitcher is working, then you're up to date. If Stitcher gets messed up, you're usually like 10 episodes back.
Yeah, I use Stitcher, and it's very rare that I'll have an episode that I have to wait till the afternoon to get a hold of. But Stitcher is definitely my preferred.
So, iTunes and SoundCloud get independent feeds uploaded to ensure that it is out there somewhere. So those two are the safe method to get the podcast because they are uploaded independently. So everything else feeds from one of those 2 feeds, but we do put them up on both services just to make sure that they're there. So check one of those 2 places before you let me know that it's not available, because it's probably available. It's a little PSA for you. And if you're over there, you could also rate us, follow us, like us, poke us, hang out with us. Send us dick pics. Whatever it is you do on those sites.
Not necessary.
The poking?
The dick pics.
Oh. Well, send them to Dan. Tolhurst, or what is he? Well, he is at Tolhurst2002 on Twitter.
Sure.
DM him with those. Don't just tweet them out. You might get banned. But you could DM him with those, I think. With the D pics. I'm at Podcast Ryan. I don't need them either. If I do get them, all I'm going to do is send them straight over to Dan. So, and Matt is at Goddamn It Matt. Now he says he doesn't, but he likes a stray one here and there.
If you send them to me, I swear to God, I'll put them up. I'll put them out there on the internet for the world.
I'll post them right on the site and get pulled.
Yeah.
I'll just send them straight to Dan. I'll print them and mail them though, because that's creepier.
Just printed dick pics on nice photo paper.
Yeah, HP photo paper. 5x3s.
What the hell, you cheap son of a bitch?
I'm not made of money.
8x11s.
I'm not made of money.
8x11s. You want to be able to get them framed, though.
I'm not made of money. You can get a custom frame made if you take it down to the Hobby Lobby.
Great.
If you like
tiny frames, people have to walk up on it to see it.
Yeah, that's what you want. You don't want them visible from across the room. That's how you creep people out. If you want to follow all of us, we are at @game_stitch on Twitter, and we wish you would. We got to be honest. We wish you'd give it a follow. We don't tweet much, but we still want you to just walk like close behind us. Everywhere we go, just follow us.
If you guys tweet, we try to respond. We're not very creative, though, as far as getting the tweets out.
No, we don't get the tweets out.
I did ask a great question about who would like a T-shirt. Nobody fucking responded.
That's not true. We got some responses. We didn't get responses that you wanted.
Right. All we got was a couple of yeses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not what I was.
I like shirts
after.
too. Now let me tell you what I'm wearing right now that I don't like.
Okay.
Don't know where it came from. Showed up in my drawer. It's a V-neck.
Oh, dude, I like a good V-neck.
I hate V-neck. I'm a hairy guy though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get the hamburger meat.
So
I don't have that.
A V-neck is more of a statement than it is for you.
Right. For me, it just shows off how not manly I am.
I've got this whole like this brush.
It looks like you trapped the cat under there.
Yeah, it looks like I'm wearing a thin coat.
Yeah.
Because my hair is like stick on like Halloween looking hair.
Yeah.
Like I'm very hairy.
Like somebody threw a handful of Elmer's glue and then threw a cat on you and whatever stuck.
Exactly like that.
Yeah. I'm wearing a shirt. It's a band shirt that may be roughly 13 years old for this band called Black My Heart Before the Devil. And it looks like somebody has tried to slice me open with a knife. I've got several lateral incisions here.
What happened?
Like Freddy Krueger got me. I honestly couldn't tell you. Probably the goddamn cat.
That's not as good as a bear attack.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to what actually happened, but it's the shirt's on the last leg. The collar's all frayed. It's got bacon neck.
Oh man, I hate a wavy neck. If you're
Michael Jordan would hate me.
If you're wondering where Dan is, he's camping.
He's playing tabletop racing on PS4.
He's left his PS4 on and he's gone camping.
If you guys should message him on PS4 while he's gone. Everybody should send him a message.
He's his PSN's Tolhurst.
Tolhurst.
Yeah, the Hurst Locker.
The Hurst Locker. Everybody ask him how tabletop racing is going.
Don't send him a bunch of friend requests because he might not want that, but just invite him to something. Party chat, game invite.
Ask him how that game's going.
Because he left his PS4 on for 4 days playing a game that I want him to play that I know he's not actually playing. And here's the other thing is I'm in communication with Dan. I understand that he's camping. Every time I get on, I send him an invite to the chat. Only to piss him off. I also send him game invites.
Right.
Because when he comes back, I want him to understand not to leave his shit on.
Right. He's going to have 96 game invites.
I hope so. I mean, I'm halfway there. So make sure you do that. You got anything else? I think it's about time to shut this puppy down.
Yeah, that's it. We're about to go see Suicide Squad for better or worse.
Yeah, maybe you talk about it next week.
Spend some time at D&B's. I'm excited about that.
Even Boostars.
Yeah.
For the ones who don't know the lingo. Now, I have a quick question before we close this out. There's another thing called Incredible Dave's. Is that of Dave and Buster's fame?
You know I don't know the answer to that, right?
Is that the Dave
of Dave and Buster's?
Of Dave and Buster's.
Famous Dave, as I call him?
Did he split out and do his own thing? If you know the answer to that,
I don't know.
Hit us up on Twitter or email me directly. Podcast.
I'm just gonna ask him. I'm just gonna ask him at the counter.
Yeah, just be like, hey, I don't want to overstep. But is the Dave of Dave and Buster's also Incredible Dave? If so, where's Buster's standalone? Or was Buster like the maybe Buster's the numbers guy? Maybe he's the financials. Yeah, maybe Dave's all the fucking fun and Buster's just there to handle paperwork.
He's just cooking the books, man. Now, by the name, I would say Buster's the fun guy.
You would think so, but maybe Buster's the guy that's just getting, like, he's making sure they got licenses and stuff.
Right. Permits.
I don't know. Insurance. Maybe Buster's is the guy that keeps the ship afloat. But Incredible Dave, what's he doing now with his own? Who's running that? Lots of questions. It's like my long-running conspiracy that Milton and Bradley are the Parker brothers.
Yeah.
And there's only...
I'm starting to buy into that.
Yeah, because it's a good one. There's only one board game manufacturer out there. But they created competition in order to sell more.
Right, fake competition.
Mm-hmm. I like that. One more thing to tell you. Sierra Mist recently changed its name to Mist Twist.
It's brilliant now.
It now contains high fructose corn syrup.
I can't stop drinking it.
I want everybody to know what the difference is. I got the DL from a Coke guy or Pepsi guy, whoever the fuck makes it, Pepsi, I think. And that's what I was informed. They changed the name because they changed the recipe to no longer contain cane sugar.
They just changed it over to high fructose corn syrup, and that's it.
And now it's Mist Twist. Yep.
It's a brilliant drink.
So I just want all the peeps out there to know. This has been episode 187 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Good night.
Good night.
I lost my mouse, so I can't end this podcast.
Awesome.